Hello, Virgo. Here is your weekly horoscope for March 7 to 13th. Well, as you found out in the first couple months of this year, life is all about change. Now, change can be a little bit scary for Virgo because, well, you get yourself a little bit anxious sometimes and you get worried about things that, well, the unknown can be very scary for Virgo sometimes. But I will bet that beginning this year, Virgo, you have seen that although you may be working harder, it's probably, if you're honest, a time when you can see that you are making some headway. You are finding firmer ground and firmer footing on which to stand and to build your life from this point going on. Now, I had mentioned that as we got into the March period that things would get better for everybody, and I'm sure that they did. With the Mercury-Jupiter conjunction last week, you should have gotten some good news in regards to extra pay or extra money or something good happening at work. And it continues for the first couple of days of this week while we still have Mercury conjunct Jupiter on Sunday and Monday anyhow. So if you haven't looked, if you need to put up your hand and say, hey, I need a raise or I need a new job or I need a bonus or whatever, do it this week, because with the Mercury-Jupiter conjunction, you might find just the right way to say it and to actually get what it is that you want. From about Tuesday on, this aspect will move off, though, and although Mercury will be in the later degrees of Aquarius without making any aspects, it's just that you don't want to miss this opportunity. Now, with Uranus and Taurus still squaring the Sun in Aquarius well until the end of April, if not off and on this year, for everybody, really, every sign, this is an opportunity to take a look at our structures and where we might need to change some of those and rebuild. Now, they can be actual physical structures. Your sign, for example, with Uranus potentially trining you, you may find that you need to upgrade electrical or electronic appliances at home. With the square to Saturn, sometimes breakdowns in machinery and things can happen. But with Mars and Gemini this week especially, oh boy, that's a whole different ball of wax. Where Mars was in Taurus and perhaps giving you added energy and drive and even a more positive outlook, now that Mars has moved into Gemini, that does put it in a bit of a challenging aspect for you. And probably the biggest thing that you might see happening this week is that there's just a lot more that you need to do. Now, whether you are at work or working a couple jobs, even at home, there's projects that you need to do. With Mars and Gemini, most people like to keep their hands busy, and Virgo is a sign that loves to keep their hands busy. So perhaps some of the things you're working on this week are fun and not necessarily so much work. But with the Mars and Gemini in your 10th house of work and career, this week is a good week for basically establishing some new ground rules, we'll say, at work. But don't be surprised if there are some conflicts that may come up. I say that because we do have Sun conjunct Neptune in Pisces, which is opposite to your Sun sign Virgo, and that puts that Sun-Neptune conjunction in your solar chart in the area of relationships. So you may find this week that things aren't exactly as they seem, or it could be that someone perhaps creates a conflict based on misinformation or a mistake, or even if someone is being outright dishonest or manipulating. Keep your eyes and ears very much open this week. And for sure, make sure that you keep all of your activities and your words honest and above on the table. Because very likely, if you or anybody tries to do any funny business this week to manipulate, play the victim, martyr, or whatever, is not going to fly, not this week with Mars and Gemini. Now, as Mars moves along and begins to make some very positive aspects to Aquarius, even your sign will benefit from that, as in just perhaps having some issues be resolved or disappear. While Pluto is still in Capricorn, although it's not making very many aspects this week, there's only a conjunction to Pluto really on Monday evening that's to even mention, it could be that is a day, Monday, and perhaps Tuesday the next day, when you have come to some decisions and perhaps making some, well, I don't want to say changes so much as making plans maybe for rebuilding or regrounding yourself into something that in the coming year will manifest and show that it is much better for you. Very likely it's work related. You may find yourself with some new duties or activities at work that will be more to what you would like them to be in the coming year. And again, that may happen this week. Other than that, with Venus conjunct Neptune from Thursday on this week, up until then, with Venus in Pisces, there's opportunity for you to share some activities with relationships, both business and personal. But once Venus conjuncts Neptune from Thursday on, again, watch out for someone that may be trying to deceive you. And if you're looking to deceive anybody else, I warn you against that, because it will come out and you're going to look like a fool. As well, though, keep your eyes and ears open, because what somebody is telling you is not necessarily the truth. They may not be intentionally lying, it just could be that they have misinformation. So don't necessarily believe everything you hear this week. Use your wonderful abilities of logic and practical analysis, and very likely that will get you to the bottom of things much more than your intuition this week. Good luck, Virgo.